Hi, this is Rebecca Nashban, and I am doing Citizens' Role in a Disaster. This is PAG 4391. A citizen's role in disaster happens to begin with the preparedness. Preparedness activities help you and your family survive a disaster and reduce financial losses. The first step in preparing for any disaster is to find out which hazards could strike in your personal community. So I live in Florida, so I know that hurricanes are a huge issue for us, whereas in California, they're more worried about earthquakes. A citizen can contact the local emergency management office or local Red Cross office to learn more specifics about smaller things, like if there's a hazardous gas place nearby, so forth. Protecting against financial loss includes insurance on one's home and buying groceries that don't expire. So there could be a point where you get hit in a natural disaster and the transportation's not able, and you're not going to be able to go buy food, or if you lose power and your groceries expire, you need non-expiring cans. You should also be on the lookout for any warnings giving out if you're told to evacuate, stay inside, school is canceled, etc. During the disaster, usually it is imperative to stay calm. Panic is usually not an issue during major disasters because citizens, it either happened before or they're very prepared, but it does happen. It is important to be following all the rules and regulations given out during the time of disaster, such as staying in or not using your car or being by certain things. You just have to pay attention. Specific warnings are usually put out during disasters, such as on TV, radio, or any way they can get in touch depending on if communication's been cut. The local emergency management office can provide information on what warning signals are being used in your community. After a disaster hits, citizens usually react in two main ways. They're either ready to start healing the city or the affected area, and they're ready to take action and react the correct way. It's considered the norm. Or they become a feeding frenzy and they need to steal or loot and survive that way because that's what they get stuck in. Citizens who are ready to heal the affected area, there's some citizens who are ready to start an immediate cleanup and get their town back to a status quo. They believe they should attack the recovery head on in order to get back on their feet. For example, consider the case of passengers on United States Airlines on Flight 93 on September 11, 2001. Since two planes already hit, they knew what was going to be going on, so they attacked the hijackers and were able to land the plane in Pennsylvania instead of what could have happened of hitting a building in Washington, D.C. This is a perfect depiction of what expected citizens to respond to such events. This is a plane crash in Pennsylvania. Some also need to survive because they need to steal because there's no transportation and businesses are destroyed. They either steal food or they're dying of starvation is how they say to cover that up. Usually law enforcement gets involved, but it's really nearly impossible since there's such a frenzy. The worst case is in New Orleans in Hurricane Katrina, when it took so long for the cleanup that these citizens were stealing for such a long time. And this is a photo of them stealing in Katrina. You can also volunteer is another way citizens can get involved. FEMA always is accepting volunteers, and there's also a lot of mission trips that people take in order to go build houses in really destroyed areas and so forth. Overall, citizens' role in disasters, each individual citizen should be prepared to take the appropriate protective action if a disaster should occur. This means knowing what type of disasters have the greatest change of occurring in your local area. Understanding how the community would be warned, how to prepare the home, what supplies to stock, and how to check on family members following an emergency are all important aspects of preparedness. Being able to not panic and help the local emergency management team start to clean up the city and get back to work ASAP is a key way to speed up the recovery process. As long as citizens have an open mind to the disaster and do not overreact, the process usually goes by smoothly. I'm Rebecca Nashban, and thank you for your time.